So what's up? What's going on, guys? Welcome to JA News.
It's up.
For today's show, we're talking upcoming releases. It looks like Salehe Bembury has just previewed his next brand new model with Crocs. Does he have another hit on his hand? And we're talking Yeezy after yesterday's big update. It looks like fans are calling Adidas out. So is it safe to say that Yeezy is bigger than Ye? Stay tuned, we got that, plus the latest and greatest in sneaker news and updates. And it's coming right up next. All right, so I appreciate y'all. Salute to everybody for tuning in. If you're rocking with JA News, be sure to show some love down below and drop a thumbs up on this video. Now to kick things off, of course, yesterday we discussed Adidas earnings call in which their current CEO, Boyne Gilden, he confirmed reports that Adidas have paused the remaining 2023 Yeezy releases. He also claimed that they could potentially write off the remaining inventory. Now, in that same earnings call, he also confirmed that Fear of God is on the way, quote saying, in the next couple of weeks, we will finally have the Fear of God product that we talked about for a couple of years in the market. And I like how he says a couple of years here because it's definitely been like 3 years. And speaking of Adidas Fear of God, it looks like we got some images of an upcoming basketball model. These come courtesy of Sneaker Tigger. So this is the all white version. Check out the details on these joints, looking very clean if you ask me. And I didn't even notice that little detail, how you're able to tie the laces around the upper of the shoe. I feel like that's definitely a dope touch. So I'm feeling these, looking to get my hands on that black and white pair, which I believe will be the first drop. And again, we should be just a few weeks away. All right, so Salehe Bembury and Crocs, they got a lot going on right now. First of all, tomorrow, they're gonna be dropping the yoke colorway for the pollex Crocs. Now, if you guys were on the fence about this colorway, it's just a little bit lighter of a shade versus that cobbler orange pair, which released previously. So joints are gonna be dropping tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern via Sponge. Now, on top of that, coming up November 17th, it looks like we have an exclusive look at the pollex slide parsnip. So apparently we're getting the all white version of the slide. And I love the fact that the pollex line is expanding more and more. It feels like now with every pollex Crocs release, they accompany them with a new colorway of the slides. And on top of that, they're also dropping kids pairs as well. Now, on top of all of this, remember how Salehe had teased that image, which I believe would be the very first pollex Crocs sneakers. Well, it looks like he has previewed them again, and it definitely confirms that we're getting a pair of sneakers. Now, off the first look, it's kind of difficult to tell what's going on here, but as you zoom into the image, these joints are looking really dope, and I feel like the standout feature of this model has to be the sole. So joints are looking clean, and on top of that, those Volt green pollex Crocs that Salehe's rocking are looking super dope as well. So a lot of big things going on over there, and I can't wait to see what the finished product is looking like. All right, we got another teaser from New Balance. Now this one right here should be really hyped up because we have once again another Jjjhound collab, and it seems like the two have been teaming up a lot lately, but with this pair, it's kind of difficult to tell exactly what's going on. We don't have a clear image of it, but it appears that this is a Gore-Tex 2002R, so this should be a more like rugged, outdoor, Gore-Tex waterproof type of pair. In terms of the color scheme, they went with this nice little olive forest green, so a little bit darker tones going on. So colorway is looking good while we can't really tell and get a clear look at it. You know, of course, Jjjhound, they like to keep things real minimal and real simple, so it's a good looking sneaker. Am I excited about them? Not really, just based off the fact that it's going to be almost impossible to cop these once they drop. All right, and I had no clue about this, but it looks like Reebok, they're bringing back the Answer 3s. So of course, this is part of the signature sneaker line worn by Allen Iverson back in his playing days. These joints are set to drop coming up this Saturday, November the 10th. And when I think about it, as a kid, I really don't remember these joints like that. Of course, you know, I remember the Questions, his first sneakers, those were an all-time classic. And I remember a lot of kids rocking the Answer joints as well, but these Answer 3s, I just don't have like fond memories of this sneaker. But now looking at these joints, I definitely feel like they're giving Jordan 13 knockoffs all the way down to the little pod on the back there. So that must have been what the designers were going for back in the day. But regardless, I feel like this is a cool move. It seems like Reebok, they're doing all the right things lately. So be on the lookout for these joints dropping this Saturday, November the 10th. And lastly, before we get up out of here, we're talking Yeezy, which yesterday we got a huge update as Adidas finally reported their quarterly financials. So we finally found out how many Yeezy sales they took in for this last major Yeezy sale in August. So Adidas officially reported $375 million worth of Yeezy sales. That's a huge figure, but when you compare the amount of sales to last quarter, Adidas reported like 430 million. Numbers are slightly down. So with numbers being a little bit lower, my question to you guys, with all of the delays going on, is the hype for Yeezy releases starting to die down? So it looks like the people have spoken. My man Travel Kicks 36, he said, no, they dropped so many pairs all at once. How the hell could you keep up? LOL, people still want them. 375 million speaks for that. For sure, most definitely 375 million is a crazy sales figure, but just based off the fact the numbers were down, and it's felt like for this month of August, they actually dropped more pairs and they had more styles than they dropped for the last release. So I was expecting the numbers to be a little bit higher, but they were slightly down. Nothing crazy, but the numbers were slightly down. My man Cool G310, he said the entire sneaker market is down. Fatigue plus inflation, people slowing down on buying sneakers as a whole. That's true. I mean, the entire market is down. I mean, if you look at Nike, Jordan releases, a lot of pairs going for under retail, a lot of pairs heading to the Nike outlets. So you're not lying. It feels like the economy is down a little bit, and it seems like people have a little less disposable income to buy on sneakers. It seems like they're saving their money for more essential purchases nowadays. So my man Slothian, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, he said dropping a ton on shoes together reduces resale price and less people buy them as well. But then again, foams and slides will always sell out no matter how many times they drop them. That's true. I mean, it felt like they dropped a lot of styles that aren't as popular as they used to be. Let's say like the Yeezy 350. It seems like less resellers are buying those up, and it's kind of exposing the fact that a lot of these brands rely on resellers to buy up a lot of the stock. But as you said, slides, foam runners, every time they drop them, no matter how many pairs they drop, they sell out every time. Now, my man Ash Dunn 11, he said 1K on the first drop. I was tapped out for the second drop, waiting for something special. I kind of mentioned that yesterday. I felt like for that first Yeezy drop, you guys went so crazy. It was a long holdover since the last Yeezy drop. People were fiending to get their hands on new pairs. So they dropped the bag so much that maybe they were a little bit tapped out when the August drop came around. So maybe by Adidas pausing these releases for 2023 was actually a good thing. People can kind of recover from that last Yeezy drop and save up, because we all know they dropped a whole bunch of pairs all at once and people showed out and spent a lot of money. So Sneaker Vinyl said Adidas is holding the Yeezy inventory until next year for sure. If they don't hold the inventory for sales next year, they won't make plans and their stockholders will be pissed. And I feel like that's probably the general consensus, what most people are thinking here. But then again, you got to remember, Adidas is a corporation. Mr. Gilden, he can't just go out saying what he wants. He's got to say the right things and, you know, play all the right games, jump through all the hoops and all that. So I feel like most people feel like them writing off the inventory is just cap, and I feel like we're going to see a strong release for Yeezys coming up next year in the first quarter. And then my man Reg, he said genius marketing, but yes, big cap, LOL. You got to threaten to dispose of them so it can recreate the hype to get people to want them. Funny thing is, they don't realize we want Yeezys and not a lot of the other BS that's been promoted and advertised. So my man Reg, he's calling big cap on it just like everybody else. And I feel like we all know a big Yeezy drop is coming. It wouldn't make sense for them to write off pairs if they've already been dropping them. Just go ahead and release these pairs. Give the people what they want. Now, there is another question about rumors. Adidas has been secretly producing Yeezys. Of course, we got reports of sales going on currently in China. So it looks like Adidas is doing some weird, kind of funny business behind the scenes. But anyways, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, people want these sneakers on feet. Even if they're Ye fans or not, it almost feels like Yeezy is bigger than Ye himself. We even got rumors of Ye dropping new music, but it seems like people aren't as excited about that versus product. So honestly, I feel like Yeezys kind of have, you know, transcended Ye, and just the designs are that timeless. The models are so popular that people just have grown to love these sneakers. So let me know what you guys think. Do you feel like Adidas is capped? Do you think they're gonna write off the remaining inventory, or do you feel like they're gonna go ahead and drop these remaining pairs for next year? Drop your feedback down below. Let me know what you guys think about all the topics covered today. And if you haven't done so, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the latest edition of JA News. Make sure you guys stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out, y'all. Love.